Hello, this is Practical Prepper 123. I'm going to show you, for those of you who are just getting started, for those of you who are overwhelmed by all the tactical bags and the hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of gear, and you think to yourself, I know I need a preparedness bag, I know I need a bug out bag or a get home bag, but this is just too much. It's just too complicated. It's too expensive. I don't even understand what half of this stuff is. I've never even heard of half of these companies. The knives these guys are advertising, they've got their Benchmade knife and their cold steel knife, and I Googled them, and they're $200, and I can't afford that. So you know what? I'll just have to hope for the best and hope nothing bad happens. Well, that's a foolhardy way to look at things. And if you're like the majority of Americans, you're not either going to be able to or not willing to drop $200 on a single piece of equipment like a knife. Now, granted, is that $200 knife probably worth it? It's a very good value for $200, and it'll last you a lifetime. You would not go wrong with buying a quality knife, but maybe you don't have one. Maybe all you have is a set of kitchen knives that you got at Walmart. Maybe you got them for your on your wedding registry. Now, granted, your wife's not going to let you take one of her nice kitchen knives and throw them in a bug-out bag, but you can find those at Walmart for about $7 or $8. Shoot, if it came down to it, you could go to a Family Dollar or a Dollar Tree and probably find some really cheap chef's knife for $1 or $2. Is that going to be good quality? No. Will it break in short order? Most likely, but it's better than having no knife. So let's get you started. What is this ugly red thing in front of you? Well, you've seen these things. They sell them at Walmart. They sell them at Family Dollar. In most any store, you can buy a or a reusable shopping bag. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to go under the assumption that you don't even have a backpack laying around. You don't have a large briefcase or a golf bag or anything like that. You can't think of any, and a suitcase is just not practical with this big thing. So maybe you don't have anything. So we're going to use this little dollar store bag. And I know you're going to need to start off with some water, and you don't have a Katadyn and Berkey filtration things, so you just need to stock up on some water. So let's go ahead and let's throw some water in this bag. We're going to throw 3 of these 20-ounce bottles in there, and there's my water. It's not going to be sufficient to get me more than about a day, but it's what I have now. So let's go move on to the next thing. Next thing I think you're going to need, most important after water, is a means of protecting yourself, especially ladies. In a dire situation, you become the prey, and you ladies need to own a gun. If all you have is a little .38 revolver, or in this case a little .380, or maybe a .22 Heritage Rough Rider pistol, that's all you can afford. You need to get something like that. Well, this is not going to go in the bag. This, hopefully, ladies, is going to go in your purse, or gentlemen, in your pocket, or ladies in your pocket. So you're going to have one of these with you. We're going to set this off to the side. The next thing you're going to do is like, oh no, what about food? I don't have any Mountain House. I don't have any MREs. I don't have a butane stove. I don't have this. I don't have that. You know what? Calm down. Don't panic. Do you have this in your shelves? Do you have some Chef Boyardee? If you do, let's throw a can of that in there. And maybe you have another can. Let's throw another can of that in there. And here's some canned pineapple. This is going to serve a couple things. It's going to give you some energy. It's going to help fill you up. The can, you could reuse that to tote some water around. And it's, most importantly, it's a pop top, so you don't need a can opener. And it's got lots of fluids in there, so this will help keep you going. We're going to put this in your bag now. And, is this the most efficient way of carrying things? No. But this is kind of a haphazard way of doing it. That's better than nothing. And next, you may have to walk for a good period of time. And if you do that, your socks are going to get messed up and stinky. So let's have a nice clean pair of socks. We'll throw that in the bag. And you're going to need some fresh undies too. So let's take a fresh pair of undies and throw those in the bag. Shirts not as important. Pants are not as important. You're going to be able to wear the same thing you have for several days. It's going to get gross, but it might get a little cold at night. So let's throw another T-shirt in the bag. You could always use that as a pillow as well, and maybe for some filtering some water. You know what? I might get a little bit hungrier than what I have already there. So I don't have any unopened peanut butter yet, and so maybe this is all you have, is you just got the thing that's half full. But you know what? I'm going to throw the peanut butter in there. It takes up a lot of space, but I don't have time to really think about this. And I just need to get this thing put together so I can start planning long term and start incrementally building up my bag better and better as I go along. I've got this little .380, and that's not a whole lot of ammo in there. That's only 12 rounds. That's not enough. So fortunately, I don't shoot very often. I do shoot, but maybe you're thinking you don't. So you've got an extra 100 rounds. Let's throw those in the bag too. And we're going to take this little flashlight, and we're going to keep this in my pocket where it's nice and handy. What about pain medication? Okay, you don't need to go out and buy an expensive first aid kit just to get you started, let's go ahead and take these ibuprofens. We'll throw them in there. And some Germex. You're going to need for sanitation. You could use this, I guess, for cleaning some wounds. And you're like, oh no, paracord. I need 550 paracord. Paracord's nice if you have it, but if you don't have it, you know what? You do have this. I think this is probably like 50 feet of dental floss, and dental floss is pretty tough. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. And you might get sick, and if you've ever had the nervous squirts, you're going to know how nice it would be to have this. This is just some anti-diarrheal. We're going to go ahead and throw that in there. And knife. Oh wow. Somebody's going to say, no, he did not just show us this knife. Okay, what if this is the only knife you have? Well, you know what? You need to get a better one than this. This is not a very good quality knife. But if you had to leave the house with no knife or leave the house with this knife, you know, I'm going to choose this. We're not going to put that in the bag. We're going to set this off with the flashlight and the pistol. You know what? As you're going through, you might say, hey, I just found some extra batteries. You know, don't worry about taping them up into small little things just yet. You know, we don't have time to do that right now. Go ahead and take these batteries and throw them in there. And toothbrush and toothpaste. You're going to need to keep yourself clean. You don't want to get infections in your mouth. Hygiene is very important in a bad situation. Hygiene is important all the time, but especially so in a bad situation. Now, what about this? This is just a Ziploc bag. You know what? This holds, I think, a quart or so. I would take 1 or 2 of these and put these in your bag too. And a spare pair of eyeglasses or contact lenses, if that's what you wear, throw those in the bag. You don't want to get caught not having those. And let's see what else. We got a can opener here. You can get these at the, Family Dollar, you know, or Walmart for $2 or $3, $4 for a good one. You may find out, hey, I ran out of food, but I just came across a can of lentils or a can of asparagus, and I'm so hungry I could eat anything. You want to be able to open that up. So let's throw that in the bag. And now I've got a can of our little thing of Neosporin. We're going to throw that in there. And I'm starting to run out of things to put in here, and this bag is starting to get heavy. But don't forget this. This is important. Let's put this in the bag too. And let's not forget the duct tape. And there's another trash bag. We'll take this trash bag and we'll just throw that in there for now. And a cigarette lighter. I have a cigarette lighter right here. And here we go, cigarette lighter. Let's not throw that in there. Let's keep this down with these items you'll keep in your pocket. And then lastly, I would recommend you grab a washcloth or a bandana, something you can use to filter some water in case you need to refill your supply. So there you have it. This is a ridiculous bug out bag. This is not high quality stuff. This is not what I would suggest you just make this bag and leave it in the corner and say you're done. But before you go to bed tonight, you could put this together. You could carry this out to your car and tie these handles up nice and tight and throw them in the trunk of your car. Folks, you need to have something like this. You don't want to have to run into your house with a minute and scrambling around in panic and in tears because you don't know what to take and you're afraid you're not going to be able to make it. With what you have here in this bag, this klutzy, girly, silly, sissy bag, you can keep yourself alive for several days. Well, this has been Practical Prepper 123. I welcome your comments, but remember, as I started off, this is for somebody who thought they couldn't anywhere get started because it was too complicated, it was too big and too expensive. And I've shown you things here that, with maybe the exception of this pistol, most everybody already has in their house. Common, everyday things that you can use to keep yourself alive for a few days. Well, thank you for your video, or thank you for watching this video, and thank you for folks that are commenting on these and subscribing. I appreciate it. I never would have thought I would have gotten 87 subscribers, and that's amazing. Well, I hope I've been helpful to you. Thank you very much, and have a great night.